Ladies and gentlemen, you are now rocking with the King Indeed. 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 You are now rocking with the King Indeed.
Right now, my name is Kenny Carter, founder and executive director of Faith Fathers Alive in the Hood, and you are now rocking with the King Indeed. You know what it is, man. Shout out to my man, the Gray Haired Bandit. Y'all know what it is, man. We outside. Salute.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's Dat KiD K.I. I am Zoeraldo. I am the Gray Haired Bandit of the King Indeed and Fathers Alive in the Hood. If you know, you know. Whom do we have the pleasure of talking to right now? State your name, state your case, what you represent. Yes, indeed.
Oh, man, listen, my name is Kenny Carter. I'm the founder and executive director of Faith Fathers Alive in the Hood.
Okay, Fathers Alive in the Hood. For those of them that have been hiding around under a rock, like I always say, somewhere in Pluto, spaced out, what is Fathers Alive in the Hood?
Oh, man, Fathers Alive in the Hood is a non-profit organization that was established in 2012 under public charities. But see, we was already doing the work long before the organization was established. This work has been being done in regards to being an influence, a positive impact in our communities and doing the things that we need to do as fathers first, because we know that dealing with your household is one of the most necessary things. Before you do anything with a community, you got to make sure home is straight.
Powerful, powerful, power. He's out here doing the work, the legwork. Now, we're here on the famous red steps in Times Square right now. While we here, why is Zoeraldo in a suit? Why are you in a suit? And why are these good young men out here in a suit as well? What's going on?
Oh man, you know, one of our good brothers, Tony Herbert, he said, you know, it was time to change the imagery that was being put on social media. And he said, you know, we got all of these young brothers, they getting together and they throwing up gang signs, they throwing up money and all this other stuff, guns and somewhat. And it's like, you know, we got to be able to just show the imagery where individuals can perceive us to be the powerful men that we are by being able to just, you know, if we can just throw it down for one time, you know, one time for the good time. And this is that good time right now, because these moments like this are being captured on video and captured in pictures, because individuals need to see more positive images of black men in here in New York City, here in America, period.
Yes.
So it was actually a challenge to say, all right, we want to see if y'all brothers going to show up and show out. And of course, you know what we did, right?
All right, we showed up. So basically, it's imperative for the world to see. That's what Tony Herbert wanted everybody to see, that we could have came in jeans and t-shirt like we always wear. We wanted to let them know that there's a different side to these black men as well, correct? Getting clean.
Of course. Sunday's best, 7 days a week, though.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I mean?
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
Sunday's best, 7 days a week, and that's the best part about it, man. When you feeling good on the outside, that means you are actually able to, you know, project that on how you maneuver on your daily basis. So we woke up this morning feeling good, and we was feeling even better when we looked in that mirror and said to ourselves, damn, I'm doing it up today. You know what I'm saying?
So lastly right now, let's talk about the spike in crime rate, the senseless acts of violence that's going on nationwide, but particularly here in your city, New York, in these boroughs. What do you think is going on, and how do you think we can prevent this? What can we do, sir? Fathers Alive in the Hood. Yes, indeed.
So, you know, one of the things that Faith kind of targets in on is fatherlessness, right? And fatherlessness is a big thing. It's a real big thing when we have a community that is, you know, pretty much without men of valor, without role models. And a lot of times these things happen because a lot of the men that we do acknowledge, that we did acknowledge, should I say, they're incarcerated or they dead. And this corporation called America, one of the illest thing is that it happens to do is it creates its own problems and it sells its solutions. In the 80s, you know, the crack epidemic was one of the biggest things. And it only became an epidemic when it fell into, you know, the Caucasian community. It wasn't an epidemic when it was ripping up, you know, the urban communities and whatnot. It was just looking at it as a profit. It was looking more so to be a fuel for the penal system at that particular time. And at the end, it's like we have to be able to identify certain things as far as being a problem. So what was the problem back then? A lot of the men was getting locked up left and right. Everybody was looking at this is easy money, this is fast money. So we gonna get this money. So I think one of the songs, and one of Biggie's, right, 10 Crack Commandments, he said, don't get high on your own supply. And this is really what hit it, because you had individuals back in those days, they was mixing weed up, right, with crack. They was mixing weed up with not only crack, but coke and all that, right? So they had specific things, right? So with nicotine and cocaine or crack, they would call it coolies, right? And then when they mixed the weed up with the crack, that was called woolies. So they had all of these different terminologies for enhancement of the drug, and that took their minds to a whole nother level. So when they was thinking about getting money, now they went from getting money to literally being the crack in their family. And what I mean by crack in the family, that means it was a separation, right? So when we got some of the powerful figures that were supposed to be role models fall victim to these drugs in a major way, it's caused a division in the family. And that break right now is we're still suffering from that PTSD of back when. Yes, indeed. Right? So now we're actually recovering. We're in a recovering process, right? So when we got brothers like myself and our brother here, the King Indeed, and the brothers that y'all may see behind me, we are taking the time and initiative to be able to put that positive work in, because we once was on that negative aspect. We once was part of the problem. So at the end, it's like, whether we're going to continue being part of the problem or we're going to be a solution. So, at this point, with the spike in the violence in our communities, I believe that when we start standing up as men and saying to ourselves, we need to snatch up as many of these young brothers that are willing to listen, right? To bring them in and give them some understanding and bring that light into their life, because we identified the darkness that was already in theirs, because they are moving a certain kind of way in our communities, and we seen it because we kind of identified with that. We once was there. So us being there and we could see that, it's like, all right, do I continue to let this young man run into that brick wall that I ran into? Or do I say, you know what, yo, bro, I got a different kind of blueprint. I got a different kind of map for you. And it's all about you being willing to accept it. Because, see, at the end of the day, a lot of individuals may see solutions, but they don't know how to implement solutions. And implementing the solution has to be about you not being fearful. Don't be fearful of the hoods that we in. Don't be fearful of our young boys, right, that's out there. So what, they might have a gun on them. So much, you ain't the ops. They got a gun on them to protect themselves. I get that, but they ain't going to pull it out and aim and shoot at you. So it's like, yo, we got to do the things that we need to do as men and be stand-up men, right? And so that we could do the things as far as implement the solution that exists, and that's being fathers alive in the hood.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sober ones and drunk ones and high ones, do you understand? Rewind it. Rewind everything he said. I don't even need to punch this interview right now. It's not even an interview. This is a conversation with my brother right now. Turn around. We're going to walk. Walk with me. Walk with me. Walk with me. Look. No, we're going to do a 360 walk. Back up. We're going to do a 360, so they can see where we at. All eyes are on us right now. All eyes are on us, so we have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying to you? We don't walk with fear. You can get these guys back there. Get these guys back there. Yeah. Look at them. They not the riffraff. They the brothers. Yes, indeed. No. He can't hear you. I'm saying it here. Yeah. Fathers alive in the hood. You see that hat? Yeah. We are here. We are here. And we out of here. Fathers alive in the hood.
It's a fact, man.
It's an energy. It's a lifestyle. It's the way you feel. Because let me tell you something right now. A good friend of mine, Tretch, told me this. Real ain't got no expiration date. He right. When you're authentic, now the fakes and the snakes, that's what's going to expire. We can weed these fakes and snakes out. I promise you. All right, you're on limited time. Fathers alive in the hood. Mr. 90, Mr. Kidney Carter, I appreciate you. I'm grateful to be in your presence, brother. I have no problem with that.
Man, I'm grateful for your energy as well, brother. Know that.
Hey.
If you just tuned in, you was rocking with the King Indeed. Know what it is. We rocking.